Thank you, everyone. We have reconvened from closed session, and we have nothing to disclose, so we will adjourn this special meeting at 6:06 PM. And at this time, I will call to order the Elk Grove City Council regular meeting. Today is Wednesday, October the 23rd, 2024. The time is 6:06 PM. Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Pardon me. This meeting of the Elk Grove City Council is recorded with closed captioning. The recording will be cablecast on Metro Cable Channel 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast and DirecTV UVerse cable systems. The recording will also be video streamed at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Tonight's meeting replays will be on Sunday, October 27th at noon and Thursday, October 31st at 6 p.m. on Metro Channel 14. Once posted, the recordings of this and previous meetings can be viewed on demand at the 3wselkgrovecity.org or youtube.com/metrocable14. For members of the participating audience who may have personal electronic devices, please place them on silent mode during the meeting or on mute when you are not speaking. Elk Grove City Council welcomes, appreciates, and encourages participation in the City Council meeting. City Council requests that you limit your presentation to 3 minutes per person so that all present will have time to participate. City Council reserves the right to reasonably limit the total time for public comment on any particular notice agenda item as it may deem necessary. Pursuant to Resolution Number 2010-24, no individual speaker concerning public comment may address the City Council for more than 3 minutes. If you wish to address the Council during the meeting, please complete one of the blue speaker cards, which can be found at the back of the chamber and provided to Assistant City Clerk Brenda Haggard prior to consideration of the agenda item. With that, Mayor, I'll be moving into the roll call. And for the roll call, I will start with Councilmember Robles.
Present.
Councilmember Spies.
Present.
Councilmember Suen.
Here.
Vice Mayor Brewer.
Here.
And Mayor Singh Allen.
Here. Thank you. Next up is our land acknowledgement, and to assist is our Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. We honor, respect, and acknowledge Elk Grove's first inhabitants, the Plains Miwok, who lived as sovereign caretakers of this land and these waterways since time immemorial. We commemorate and advocate for their descendants, the Wilton Rancheria tribe, the only federally recognized tribe in Sacramento County who endured because of the bravery, resiliency, and determination of their ancestors, tribal members, and leaders.
Thank you. Next up is our Pledge of Allegiance. I would like to invite up District Director Daniel Washington. Come on down to help lead us in the pledge for Senator Ashby's office.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, at this time, please join us for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Next up is our approval of the agenda. May I get a motion, please?
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next item.
Under Section 3, under the closed session, there are no closed session agenda items on the regular agenda, which will advance us to Section 4, our presentations and announcements. That first presentation being 4.1, a presentation by Senator Angelique Ashby.
Excellent. At this time, I'd like to call down our amazing state senator representing District 8, Senator Angelique Ashby.
Well, hello, Elk Grove Mayor and Council and Elk Grove citizens tuning in. I am so happy to be here today and to bring good news and to just share with you how I'm feeling about Elk Grove these days, which is incredible. What an honor to get to represent this city. I have to tell you, I've been bragging along with the mayor all across Senate District 8 about Elk Grove. I think it is incredible how this council and mayor work together, how the city is so supportive of the council. You make it easy to help you. You make it very easy to go do a piece of legislation for a zoo or find some funding for a library because you are unified, you are working so hard, and you're doing such a good job for your constituents. For me, economic development is a big deal. It's sort of my focus. It was my focus when I was, like you, on the other side of a dais being a council member, and it has remained my focus in the Senate I'm fortunate enough to be the chairwoman of the Business Professions and Economic Development Committee for the State Senate, which is really fun because then I get to work on economic development statewide. And in a big state like California, that's exciting. And for a region like the greater Sacramento region, it's also very exciting. And there's plenty to be proud of. And I am excited to be on this journey with you all around the zoo and so many other things. And it feels like every week I am sharing on social media some new exciting REI or Macy's or something else that has chosen Elk Grove as their next home. And I know exactly why, because this is a wonderful place to be. So thank you for having my district director, Daniel, and I here. There are members of the library who are here too, good friends of mine. I've had the good fortune over my time in office to be quite the champion of the library in Sacramento. So this is extra fun for me to extend that into Elk Grove. I personally believe that if we were to address just one really important thing in the state, one of the top priorities could be literacy. Over 70% of the people who are incarcerated read at or below a third grade level. Most people who are homeless read at or below a third grade level. There are very few things that we can do for our children that have a more direct, positive net outcome on their future than make sure that they are little super readers. So I've focused a lot of legislation on that. And of course, this is a funding opportunity that is also focused on kids and libraries, and more importantly, Little Elk Grove kids in libraries who are going to have a great experience. So thanks for having me.
So, thank you. So we have a recognition for you as well. So I'm going to read some of those covenants here, but I just want to also just personally share what an honor and privilege it is to work alongside you. You have been a tremendous champion for our city and the entire district. And what I love about the parallels is that, you know, you come from Natomas, and Natomas has so much in common with our city. So true to your words, you have been a great ambassador and champion for the city of Elk Grove. We haven't seen funding like this since former Assemblymember Jim Cooper was in the legislature, bringing back those much-needed dollars to the district. So thank you for not only being a wonderful spokesperson and champion for the city of Elk Grove, but the entire district. We really appreciate all that you do every single day.
Oh, thank you so much. This was really kind.
So I'm going to read this here. As the city of Elk Grove recognizes and appreciates Senator Angelique Ashby, California State Senator, 8th District, whereas California State Senator Angelique Ashby has provided exemplary public service to the residents of Elk Grove. While her career as an elected official has spanned nearly 15 years, her tenure representing the city of Elk Grove began in 2022. And whereas in just under 2 years, Senator Ashby has demonstrated unwavering dedication to the residents of Elk Grove, and her actions have significantly benefited our community. And whereas Senator Ashby has authored and championed Senate Bill 739, a legislative bill that allows the city of Elk Grove to use a construction manager at-risk construction contract for the new zoo at Elk Grove. Senate Bill 739 will allow the city to be more efficiently and cost-effectively build the first modern zoological park in the country in more than 30 years. And whereas Senator Ashby's longstanding commitment to youth is an inspiration to us all. She championed childhood literacy during the 2023-2024 state budget negotiations, securing a $1 million appropriation to enhance children's amenities in the new Elk Grove Library, scheduled to begin construction in early 2025. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council and the City of Elk Grove hereby thanks and celebrates Senator Angelique Ashby for her dedicated service to the Elk Grove community and extends the utmost appreciation and esteem to her. Signed today, this 23rd day of October 2024. Senator Ashby. We will come down and present this to you.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I could just quickly, I just wanted to pile on a little bit in addition to everything that's already been said. When I first got on council, Senator, I served with you on the Library Authority, and so your passion for literacy and the kids was evident there, and it's great to see it continue in your tenure as a senator. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for this funding. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
I definitely want to chime in on what was mentioned by Councilmember Zuna and by Mayor Singh Allen. You have been a champion for Elk Grove and have been a champion for the region for many years. And to see the work that you are doing right now in the state senate is amazing. It's transformative, and you're reaching people, and you're being the leader, and you're walking the walk. And that's very, very important. And currently, as the vice chair of the library board, this is very welcome news, and so much welcome news that our executive director, Peter Coyle, and assistant director, Jared Keller, is here in the audience here with us tonight to really celebrate this occasion, but to also to acknowledge your work in being the champion that you are.
Oh, thank you so much, Vice Mayor Brewer. And by the way, since you are Vice Chair of the Library Authority, I brought you a little hardware too. We have a giant ceremonial check for you that I know the library likes to keep track of, and we'll definitely exchange that today as well.
Wonderful. Anyone else before we head down? Are we good? Councilmember Robles.
Senator, thank you just for all the work that you've been doing for our district. It truly, truly sets an example and a bar. We appreciate your work, and let's continue working together for the better of Elk Grove and the region.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Guys are too much. Yeah. You want to do a check in?
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll do the proclamation.
Yeah, we'll do this first and then the check. Yeah. Just so that there's,
Yeah.
let's do this.
So I'm not handing you a check.
All right. Thank you.
One more, we'll switch out.
Okay.
Now we'll switch out the
You gotta
check.
have the library guys come. Oh, okay.
And then we'll have
They
Peter
came all the way
Coyle
down here, you can't,
and Jared come join us.
How are you? Good to see you.
$1
name on
million.
the back.
$1 million.
I'm cashing this tomorrow.
Find an ATM big enough.
Come on, Jared.
That side? Okay, great.
Oh, a
Oh,
lower.
or can we see it? Yes.
Are you good, Serge?
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay, libraries.
Take that.
Okay, yeah.
See you tomorrow.
All right, next up is item 4.2, new hire introductions.
All right. Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council, Jason Behrman, City Manager. It's always a privilege to be able to present our new employees and those who have received promotions over the last quarter. So we're going to go ahead and start with our Police Department, Chief Davis.
They were out of place. Sorry about that. I had to move them closer together. Mayor and council. I'm proud to introduce the newest members of the Elk Grove Police Department. My name is Bobby Davis. I'm fortunate enough to be the chief of police here for the city of Elk Grove and the Elk Grove Police Department. So we will start with Richard Chow. Come on up here, buddy. Rich was born and raised in Sacramento. After high school, he enlisted in the United States Army and was transitioned into Texas for 4 years. Prior to joining the Elk Grove Police Department, he worked for Mesquite PD in Texas for about 2.5 years. While away from work, Rich enjoys weightlifting, reading, and watching TV shows. Welcome.
Thank you.
So special, very special to us here, our veterinarian has really made a difference for us significantly in our city, as we all know, and she's been very important to where our animal shelter has come. And it's been very privileged to get to know you, and she has absolutely made a difference for us. So Mrs. Swanson started with us July 15th. Jonah was born in Iowa and relocated to Pittsburgh when she was in high school. Prior to joining the Elk Grove Police Department, Jonah spent time living and working all over the world, including New Zealand, Uganda, Japan, Washington, D.C., and Minneapolis. While away from work, she enjoys traveling, camping, and hiking. And she's now a resident of Elk Grove as well. Thank you. Thank you so much. Come on up. Jose Jimenez. You're on this side. Jose was born in San Jose and raised in Elk Grove, the Sacramento area. He is currently attending Sac State as a criminal justice major. Prior to joining the Elk Grove Police Department, he worked in the campus patrol with the Los Rios Police Department. While away from work, he enjoys playing the guitar and piano. And I believe you're going to try to join the police department as a police officer here as soon as you graduate. Very good.
All right.
And then we have a few that did not make it, so I'm going to read them as well. Dispatcher Mariah Alvarado started July 29th. Mariah was born in Modesto and raised in Ceres. Prior to joining the Elk Grove Police Department, she worked for the Turlock Police Department as a dispatcher for about 4.5 years. While away from work, she enjoys hiking, reading, and traveling. Officer Fabiola Alvarado, August 26th. Fabi was born in Guadalajara, Jalisco, and raised in Stockton. Prior to joining the Elk Grove Police Department, she worked for Modesto PD for 2 years. And while away from work, she enjoys spending time with her 3 daughters and trying new restaurants. And then Mallory Moreno, newly promoted. Mallory joined the Elk Grove Police Department on January 3rd, 2012. Prior to her promotion, she served as our records police supervisor. And that's all we have.
All right. All right.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Kristen Lawrence, your Public Affairs Manager, and I am pleased to introduce to you tonight Jen Lindsley. She's our new Multimedia Specialist too. She joined the city on September 9th as part of our Public Affairs team. Jen has over 10 years of experience in the design industry and graduated from the Art Institute in Natomas. She worked on various in-house design teams in both large corporations and small businesses across industries, including architecture, Napa Valley wine, greeting cards, real estate, and finance. Working in such a variety of spaces has allowed her to grow and gain diverse perspectives in her creative work. Jen is passionate about painting and photography.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Suzanne Kennedy, Assistant City Attorney. It is with great pleasure I get to introduce to you Brianne O'Sullivan. Brianne actually interned with us in our City Attorney's Office in 2021 as a law student, and she came back to us, and we are thrilled to have her. She has hit the ground running, feels like she has never left. Brianne is a graduate of UC Berkeley and McGeorge School of Law. Before returning back to Elk Grove, she worked at a private law firm where she specialized in employment law and public agency work. Brianne and her husband enjoy their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia, and here's a fun fact that really speaks to who Brianne is and her abilities. Just days after having her first child, she sat for the bar exam and passed.
Oh,
So,
wow.
welcome, Brianne.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Matt Paulin, your Director of Finance. Max. I'd like to introduce to you Max Yates. Max was born and raised in the South Bay and started his career in the automotive industry as a machinist while still in high school before moving into the retail sector. He has several years of experience in customer service, including as a supervisor. Max moved here to Elk Grove in 2019 with his cat Rubble and started working for the city on October 30th, 2023 as an attendant at District 56. Max was then hired in my department as a customer service representative on August the 26th and has been a wonderful addition to our team. Max's goal has always been to deliver high-quality customer service to everyone that he works with, and he looks forward to continuing to serve the community in his current role. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Nicole, and I'm your Chief Information Officer, and I'm very happy to introduce you to Jarek Padruga. Jay recently graduated from the University of the Pacific with a BS in Engineering Management, concentrating in computer engineering. He has over 3 years of experience in the IT field, both in public and private sector. He has been with us since August, and we're excited to have him complete our IT team. Previously, he worked as an intern at Abbott Laboratories and as an IT specialist for the city of Stockton before he came to us. And if you want to know a fun fact about Jay, if you're a Marvel fan, you might have seen Jay as an extra in the movie. So do you want to tell which movie it was?
It was Shang-Chi.
Yes, I do recognize you, actually.
Go IT. But welcome, Jay. We're excited to have you. Thank you.
And thanks for your help with my computer.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Christopher Dorman, Development Services, and I have two hires to present to you this evening. First up is Josh Tovar. Josh joined us as the Admin Analyst 2 in the Housing Division in July. He'll be working primarily on affordable housing issues, including the development of several city-owned sites. Josh comes to us from the city of Mountain View, where he worked with their community development and housing departments. Prior to that, he worked with the city of San Francisco. Josh has an undergraduate and master's degrees from UC Berkeley and has recently relocated to Elk Grove for this opportunity. Has two small children, so he doesn't have a ton of free time, but if he did, he would love to be camping. So welcome aboard. And next up is Thomas Liu. He has joined also our housing division in August as one of our two homeless outreach navigators, where his role is to proactively work with people experiencing homelessness and to help connect them to our forthcoming shelter, mental health services, and other resources. Thomas spends most of his day out and about in the city, so you'll probably see him out providing those services more than anywhere else. Oftentimes along the trails or the railroad tracks or other places. He comes to us from Turning Point, a local service provider, where he worked with people with severe mental health issues. He recently finished his master's degree in criminal justice at Sac State, so he does have a little bit more free time and loves to go hiking. So welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Jeff Werner, Public Works Director. First up for Public Works is Eugene Garcia. Eugene joined our capital maintenance group as a Public Works Inspector. He has a strong background in various engineering and construction roles, specializing in soils testing, asphalt investigation, and coring. Before coming to the city, he worked with Twining and the California High-Speed Rail. He is a dedicated sports fan who loves the San Francisco 49ers, the San Francisco Giants, and UFC. He enjoys hiking, kayaking, and wine tasting, and particularly enjoys Lake Tulloch. Welcome, Eugene. Next, we have Song-In Wu. Song-In recently advanced to the associate engineer position. He formerly was an assistant civil engineer, and he is an alumnus of CSU Sacramento, Stingers Up, with a bachelor's degree in civil engineering. Song-In is currently providing support to the capital improvement program, and he also performs design and project management on small public works projects. He's a resident of Elk Grove and is grateful for the opportunity to serve his community. And outside of work, Song-In enjoys spending time with his family and doing yard work on the weekends. Not with us this evening is Sang Nguyen. Similar to Song-In, Sang recently promoted to associate engineer. For the last 5 years, Sang has been working with the Capital Maintenance Group, providing delivery of pavement and other capital maintenance projects. Sang recently was promoted again to associate engineer. He lives in Elk Grove, enjoys bicycling and taking his kids to all parks in the city. He's a Minnesota Vikings sports fan, which I think is why he's not here. He's dodging me because they recently lost to my Lions. So welcome, Sang. And congratulations. Next up is Allison Musling. She recently joined the Public Works Department. You may recognize her. She came to us from the city manager's office working at District 56. She's now a residential recycling and waste specialist, providing support to our community and outreach through our residential program. Allison completed her bachelor's degree in environmental studies from Sac State in May this year. Allison has lived in Elk Grove her whole life and loves having the opportunity to serve the community she grew up in. Welcome to Public Works. Thank you.
All right, welcome and congratulations to all our new hires and the promotions. Thank you for your service to our great city. All right, we'll give you all a few seconds here to clear out. Next up is public comment, and we have one person signed up to speak, Lynn Wheat.
Good evening. My name's Lynn Wheat, and tonight I have my Citizen Planner shirt on. So when we began working on our general plan update, and I persevered to the end when it was adopted, some friends of mine bought this shirt for me. So I proudly wear it, and I thank them because together we've had a great sense of humor. So I'm going to talk about the zoo too, but I'm going to tackle it in a little different way tonight. So first, I want to say that when I look at the plans and I look at Sterling Meadows, any homeowner that bought their home there would have had a different idea of what was going to go in. But if you can see from my picture, they're going to be supporting the zoo employee parking. And how are the employees going to get into that parking? They're going to drive into their residential area to park. This is the site of the future proposed zoo. As you can see, there's cattle on it right now. So we were grazing lands at one time, of course, had a lot of ag, and we'll lose that. Now, when we were working on the general plan, I put together this little board so I could show people what the city was proposing and what we were looking at. So anyone that would have bought a home in Sterling Meadows would have thought we were going to have this big employment center area. This employment center now is going to house the zoo, and long-term, maybe 279 jobs. And I think that might be great for economic development, but I haven't heard as a benefit what it will be for the taxpayers, because the government doesn't have money. You get your money from us, the taxpayers. So I still would have preferred that to go out to a vote of the people, because this is a very expensive project. So knowing that the people don't have an opportunity to vote on it, I really care a lot about people in our community. And we know that we are in a housing crisis here in California. So I look at the 100 acres that we own, we the taxpayers, and I think about the rent control proposition that's on the ballot. And I'm thinking maybe there's another way that we can offer some other housing opportunities. So this is my idea. We own the 100 acres. We could do rent control and start to look at offering some housing solutions, offering people opportunities to buy. Support like manufactured homes. We allow the people to buy their manufactured home. We control the rent within that area, and then they can move up into a permanent housing. I like animals too, but I love people, and I love the people in Elk Grove, and I'd love an opportunity for some of them to not just be in our mega affordable apartment complexes, but to have an opportunity to have something else. And this would better support what the neighbors in that surrounding 100 acres thought that they'd be receiving. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and that concludes our public comment. So I will close the public comment opportunity and go on to our next item, City Manager's report.
Good evening again. Several items to report on this evening. First of all, big congratulations to our Public Works Department who recently received some recognitions that I'll walk through really quickly. They received 4 Project of the Year awards from the Sacramento section of the American Society of Civil Engineers, This last month, the awards recognized projects that demonstrated the greatest engineering skills and represented greatest contributions to civil engineering progress and to society. Projects include arterial roads rehabilitation and bicycle lane improvement projects, which was in the category of Outstanding Bikeways and Trails Project, Camera Road Reconstruction, Outstanding Road and Highway Project, Grant Line Road Widening Project, Waterman Road to Bradshaw Road, Outstanding Transportation Project, and the Elk Grove Police Department Campus Improvements, Outstanding Architectural Engineering Project. Please join me in congratulating our Public Works and our city engineers for these honors. This Friday, the Police Department and Explore Elk Grove have partnered to host Elk Grove's 3rd annual Hallapalooza, a family-friendly Halloween celebration at District 56. Is going to be this Friday from 5 to 8 p.m. Activities will include trunk or treating, a DJ dance party, costume contest, marching band parade, bubble zone, and more. Hallapalooza is free and an event for the whole family. The city and the Gathering Inn will open the doors for a special community open house for the new year-round shelter next Tuesday, October 29th from 4 to 7 p.m. at Calvary Christian Church, which is at 9499 East Stockton Boulevard. Visitors will get a first-hand look at the facility, meet the management team, and learn more about the preparations in place to operate the shelter. Details are available on the city's website. Elk Grove Police Department and the Cosumnes Fire Department will hit the courts on a long-anticipated basketball rematch on Sunday, November 3rd at Elk Grove High School. Bragging rights will be on the line. All funds raised will benefit the Special Olympics of Northern California. Tip-off starts at 1 p.m. For tickets and more information, visit elkgrovepd.org. You got this, Chief.
Yes.
All right.
Councilman Suen, are we playing?
It's up to the chief.
Chief?
You need some cheerleaders, right, Chief? Let's see. So just a reminder, city facilities are open and they're for vote centers. We've got our election coming up, vote centers and drop box locations. City Hall has been busy this last week with people coming and dropping off their ballots. Voters can visit any of the vote centers in the county, drop off completed ballots, or you can vote in person. Vote centers provide accessible voting devices, language assistance. Council chambers, District 56 will offer on-site voting and ballot drop-off boxes on Election Day, which is Tuesday, November 5th from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And a listing of all the vote centers and drop-off locations is on the county's website, elections.saccounty.net. And finally, in accordance with the city's holiday schedule, City Hall will be closed on Monday, November 11th in observance of Veterans Day. And that concludes my report. Happy to answer any questions that the council might have.
Thank you for that excellent report. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, thank you. We will move on to our next item, which is our consent calendar items. At this time, I will open up the public comment opportunity. We have one person signed up to speak on item 7.8, Lynn Wheat.
Good evening. I want to thank staff for the report. What I want to speak to is that we have 16 projects that have been put on hold. And I look through all of this and I look at this as being projects that produce a better city, give us a quality of life. They ought to be done. Those projects are 17 million. Two of those projects that have been put on hold are parks. Of course, the kickoffs related to CSD. And the amount for those parks is approximately 4 million. Well, interestingly enough, they're within the CFD areas, and we're taking 9.3 million from those CFD areas. We can cobble that money together for our zoo, but somehow we can't hurry and get those parks in. We're putting them on hold. I'd rather have the parks completed for the people because that's a quality of life issue. They have parks within their neighborhoods that won't cost them $40. The other projects could all be done if we looked at using our general fund reserve that we're putting aside for the zoo. So then we could get those projects done within our city. This is taxpayer money. Let's put this out and see if the taxpayers would like their roads done, the sidewalks that need to be done, you know, some of the drainage that needs to be completed and beautify our city. I think we could use some of those monies and it would be in a much better way than looking to the outskirts of our city and building a zoo. Again, I think of the zoo should have been to vote of the taxpayers that are going to be paying for it today, tomorrow, forever. Thank you.
All right, that concludes the public comment opportunity. I'll close the public comment. And are there any questions or anything on consent calendar? If not, I'll look for a motion.
I'll move consent calendar.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, next up is item 8.1.
And 8.1 is a public hearing to consider a resolution approving major design review amendment for the Poppy Grove Apartments Amendment Project located at 10149 Bruceville Road.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, council members, Sarah Kirsch-Gessner, Planning Department. The proposed project, the Poppy Grove Apartments Amendment Project, consists of a major design review amendment for the previously approved Poppy Grove Apartments project to modify the exterior colors of the buildings. A little background information, the Poppy Grove Apartments project was approved by council in 2022. The project is an affordable project. The council previously approved an amendment and a density bonus with incentives and concessions in 2023, which modified the floor plans, elevations, and site plan, as well as reduced some development standards. And the project is currently under construction on the site. The project is located within the Laguna Ridge Specific Plan area and is zoned RD30. The site is located on the east side of Bruceville Road, just south of Poppy Ridge Road. The originally approved colors included dark gray, light gray, violet, and white. The approved materials included 2 primary building materials, cement plaster and fiber cement siding. The project is not proposing to modify the materials, but it is proposing to modify the approved color palette by introducing new color finishes to the project and eliminating the color variations on the individual buildings. According to the applicant, this was needed to implement the change in the color schemes for the development based on those architectural changes that were implemented since the original project approval. Here are some of the exhibits showing the original and revised designs. This is particular for Building 1. This figure on the left shows the original colors and on the right is the revised design. The proposed plaster on all of the buildings would be proposed to be a worldly gray color, kind of a beige gray color, and the siding would be finished with both a primary and accent color varying between the project's 14 buildings. Here's another example of Building 5 with the original and the revised design. Just to note that the buildings on site have already been painted with the proposed color schemes. This figure illustrates the site plan on the bottom, which is showing where the building examples would be located on the site. For example, the elevation shown here includes Rojo Dust, a rusty red color of the siding, and it would be located at those 3 locations throughout the site. The project was reviewed consistent with the Housing Accountability Act solely against the objective standards of the Municipal Code and the Elk Grove Design Guidelines. The design guidelines require 2 different primary building materials or 2 different primary building colors, and the project as proposed is consistent with the objective standards of the design guidelines. The project requires no further environmental review, and staff recommends City Council approval of the project. I'm available for any questions, and the applicant, Mr. Reese Jarrett, is also available to answer any questions of the council. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your presentation. At this time, I will declare that the public hearing is now open. Mr. Jarrett, would you be interested in speaking at all, or you have that opportunity as the applicant?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Since I flew up here to be here, in case you had a question, I guess I should at least say good evening and want you to know that we're excited about the fact that after going through a very rocky closing with interest rates skyrocketing and supply chain issues and through 2 very tremendous winters that were, not anticipated to the scale and extent that we encountered them, we're actually going to start completion of buildings in December and should be finished in the first phase by February, and the second phase by April, and then the final phase, which is 158 units, will be in June. And so we're excited about the fact that we're working with the city staff on the lottery, which had over 13,000 potential applicants subscribe to, and we'll be working with our management company to start to go through those applicants and start getting some very needed affordable housing into the development. And so I'm just here to say that we're here and we're still alive and looking forward to getting the development up and leased up and getting some families housed.
Thank you, sir.
And available for any questions, should you have any.
All right, thank you, sir, and thank you for making the time to come up here. Appreciate it. At this time, I'll open up public comment opportunity, and we have one person signed up, Lynn Wheat.
Good evening. I like having 9 minutes tonight. This project was initially approved in May of 2022, and just 1 month prior to the City Council approved major amendments to apartment design standards to facilitate this particular project. In accordance with those new watered-down design standards, this project was permitted to reduce its open space percentage from 20% to 9%. Not my idea of creating a livable environment for the tenants of this 387-unit high-density project. And if this wasn't generous enough, the City Council approved more major concessions in 2023, allowing the developer to eliminate the balconies, the swimming pool, sports court, and to cheapen the architecture. Again, creating a livable environment for the residents amongst the towering 4- and 3-story buildings does not seem to be a priority. Instead, the City Council seems to be focused more on the numbers game, satisfying our regional housing needs and the bottom line profit number of the developer. This brings us to this evening's latest request, which I will call Bait and Switch Part 3. Now the developer wants to eliminate several building colors which have helped break up the extreme mass of these buildings and wants to instead stick with a couple basic tones. The predominant color will be called worldly gray. Really? I used to think that the 3-story low-income apartment project near District 56 at Bighorn and Civic Center Drive was the low mark of residential architectural quality for the city. But now I see this new project as setting the new mark. The worldly gray buildings, or as I will call them, East Berlin gray, no balconies, virtually no open space thanks to the new guidelines, and no pool. Well, I hope the City Council is proud of how our city is developing. And on a side note, when the Civic Center apartments were built, I had 2 friends at 2 different times in my vehicle. They looked over and said, "Look, Russia."
All right, thank you for that. That was our last public comment. So I will close the public comment opportunity. And Mr. Jared, would you like to say anything else? Okay, excellent. At this time, I will declare that the public hearing is now closed. Questions or comments? Yes, Councilmember Suen.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a question, Mr. Jared. If you could speak to why the change in the colors. I do see it would break it up, but I don't see a whole lot of difference. So I just want to hear directly from you.
Yeah, we retained a color specialist to look at the change in the architecture, and we came up with some color schemes and evaluated, negotiated back and forth, and this was a color scheme that we landed on based on the input from our consultant.
And did they talk about the breakup of the mass building when you look at the original colors, it does seem to break up the building mass as opposed to the proposed colors. Did they speak to that in your conversations?
Yeah, we did talk about that, and we felt that these color schemes fit the revised architecture much better than what we were proposing before.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
I will reiterate my I know we don't have much choice in this, but I will reiterate my disappointment in the architecture. Again, this is the only project that doesn't have patios and balconies, and I really wish it would be something that was more consistent with what we have throughout the city. And I do appreciate the applicant has deferred much of the developer fee, but still, I wish it would have. Once you build it, it's going to always be there. It will always be in our skyline, so to speak. So that's only I need to put that on record. So I'm just disappointed in that aspect. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Spies.
Yeah, I would align myself with Councilmember Sue, and I'm particularly, as I mentioned before, disturbed with the removal of the patios and more open air. So, I mean, don't get a lot of choice on this. The only upside to this is it does provide more housing, but it is by no means the example of what we should have in Elk Grove. So,
Thank you, and I will say I echo some of the same comments. I would like to have seen a more enhanced project with the balconies, but I understand where we are, and at the end of the day, we only have so much discretion and authority on this. We still have state housing law that does not give us options, but to allow these changes. So those are the parameters that we have. But what I do appreciate is that we will have 387 units that are much needed in not only the city of Elk Grove, but in the region. So while it's not everything that we would like to see, it is still a positive step in the right direction of meeting those much needed housing needs that we're facing. So, and I want to thank you, sir, for being here and continuing to be a good partner with the city and having those meetings with our staff and navigating through some of these issues with us. So thank you for that communication. All right, so with that, thank you, sir.
Can I say one other thing?
Of course you can.
You know, I appreciate the comments that have been made, and I won't go through all the litany that we've discussed before as to how we got here, but I want to reiterate a couple of things. One, we have over $3.5 million worth of solar that we've installed on the development that will basically eliminate the utility cost to the tenant. We have over 15,000 square feet of common indoor space that'll be programmed year-round for activities for our residents. We anticipate that we have 80-gallon individual water heaters in every unit. We have washers and dryers in every unit. We've tried to do the best thing with the dollars that we had to deal with that would give the best environment for our residents. And this is what we have, and we've done the best we can, and we appreciate your understanding. But this development will have an environment that will be inviting to the people that live there and very robust. Thank you.
Thank you. And yes, those washer and dryers are excellent amenities that I forgot to mention as well. So thank you for that reminder. All right, did I hear a motion? I don't.
I'd like to make the motion to adopt the resolution.
Can I get a second? Hello? Unmute.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Motion passes. And next item, please.
That'll be item 8.2, a public hearing to consider resolution acknowledging the 49 historical resources already listed in the Elk Grove Register of Historic Resources and designating 5 additional local properties as historical resources to be added to the Elk Grove Register of Historic Resources.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. My name is Kira Killingsworth, and I am the Senior Planner for the Development Service Department and Planning Services. The city seeks to designate 5 local properties as a historic resources for listing of the Elk Grove Register of Historic Resources and acknowledge 49 resources already listed on the local register. The Elk Grove Historic Preservation Ordinance, Chapter 7 of the Municipal Code was codified in 2007 and updated in 2017. The ordinance identifies the criteria and processes required for the historic resources and created the establishment of the 49 resources that are part of the National Register of Historic Places. In the city, the criteria list includes a list of significant building structures, sites, objects, districts with historic, cultural, and architectural significance. The register is a standalone list. It's separate from Old Town Special Planning Area and the Historic District. However, all 3 can overlap and have one property can be part of all 3. So as mentioned, 49 historic resources already are on the list as they are part of the National Register of Historic Places, as well as California Register of Historic Resources. The city has conducted a few surveys and historic context statements, one in 2012 and 2019. These surveys identified key historic themes in the Elk Grove development. The reports recommended specific locations and properties eligible to be included in the local register. The eligibility means that properties can meet at least one criteria, and those criteria are following. 1, associated with an event, associated with lives and persons, characteristics of types, periods, methods of construction, and represent a certain architect. And then 4th, important information. Just to let you know, these criteria are all in relation to Elk Grove's pattern and history. The benefits of creating a local register is recognition of the local history, raises awareness, identify, protects, and enhance the local history. Heritage tourism protects the environment as well as potential financial incentives like grants, tax incentives. Some of the restrictions that a local register can provide is you must keep the historic property in good repair. Also, there is any type of exterior modification, addition to the historical resource has to go through a design review process, a certificate of appropriate process. But this ensures that the building is reviewed to comply with historic preservation, as well as the Secretary of Interior standards for treatment of historic resources, and overall just maintains the historic significance of the property. This map shows the locations of the properties that are for designation and acknowledgement. So 48 of the historic resources are in the historic district along Elk Grove Boulevard. And then there's one, the Egg Heart House, which is part of the National Register of the Historic Resources. So those 49 are already on the list, and we would like that they be acknowledged. The city also proposes 5 additional properties that have been surveyed and are to be eligible for the local listing. 4 of the properties are part of the Heritage Park on East Stockton Boulevard and a private resident on Bilby Road. Just to let the council know that on page 8 and 9 of the staff report, there was findings that staff had made that show that the 5 additional resources meet the criteria, the 4 that I mentioned earlier. So this is just the start. This is just a request that we have this list. This is the first round. The surveys has shown there's more properties that are eligible for the list, and this is, again, the first round, and we would like to add more. If we can add more, it's really up to the Historical Preservation Committee can recommend designation, as well as the owner or a resident of Elk Grove. So part of the process for this register is the city provided a public workshop in June. It was in person, and the city provided information on the general plan consistency, the Chapter 7 Historic Preservation Ordinance, properties that were requested that be designated, and the process of the Certificate of Appropriateness. It was well attended with great questions from a variety of residents who were very interested. But the city had noticed the kind of the key question was concerns regarding the city application process and fees for historic resources. This was presented to the Historic Preservation Committee meeting in September. The staff originally provided that six historical resources be designated, but we were told at the meeting by our Historical Society that one of the properties at the Heritage Park was demolished and no longer eligible for this list. So that's why we're requesting 4. And the Historical Preservation Committee also acknowledged their concern of the submittal fees for historical resources. With that, the committee did recommend to designate the 5 properties and acknowledge the 49 properties. Staff recommends that the City Council find that no further environmental review is necessary per CEQA guidelines, section 15308 and 15183, and acknowledge the 49 historic resources listed on the Elk Grove Register of Historic Resource, and designate the 5 local historic resources for listing, again, on the Elk Grove Register of Historic Resources. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your presentation. At this time, I will declare that the public hearing is now open and open up the public comment opportunity. We have one person signed up, Peggy Forsyth Andrews.
Good evening. Nice to see you all again. As was reported, the Historical Preservation Committee reviewed this and has been working on this and unanimously passed it. We are concerned about the submittal fees as noted and hope that you will look at those, please, so that we can assure that people are able to do what they want with their properties and they maintain the historic properties at the level we expect in our community. I would be remiss, though, if I did not share with you that before Elk Grove, really Elk Grove, the city of Elk Grove was just a vision. In the early 80s, there was a group of individuals who wanted to protect these properties and submitted an application. As far as I know, I'm the only one of those individuals that's still alive and can be here with you today. So this is really in its way a very momentous occasion. Carl Amundsen is no longer with us, and Carl had a vision long before many individuals did, and he was part of the original group that looked at protecting these homes. And also Sacramento Housing and Redevelopment gave us a grant years ago in the early 80s, and we hired a group of individuals to help us get the history, much of which is used still in the applications. And we went to Benicia and testified, and we established the historic district. So I would ask you, please, to look at this seriously and acknowledge it. It's of really value to our community. And I thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you for your comments. Nobody else has signed up to speak, so I will close the public comment opportunity and declare that the public hearing is now closed. Any questions or comments? If not, I will look for a motion.
Just maybe we can ask staff to look
Yeah,
at those
please.
fees. That'd
Yeah.
be great.
Yes.
I do have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Killingsworth, so the 5 that are the 5 properties being added, in the process, the owners were asked for their consent to do so, or is this done without their consent?
So we sent mailing notices to the property owners, as well as all residents and owners 500 feet from those designated properties.
Okay, so is it possible that, should have asked this before. Is it possible that they could, in the future, want to do modifications to their home, but be unable to do so because they may claim that they didn't know?
So the 49 resources are already part of the national
Correct.
list, and
Right.
those have to already go through the certificate of appropriateness process. The
Right.
5 new would have to go through, if they want to do any modification, would have to go through a certificate of appropriateness, most likely.
And for clarification, of those new properties, one of those properties is actually owned by a member of the Historic Preservation Committee.
Okay.
And the remainder of the properties are in Elk Grove Heritage Park, which we did coordinate with CSD. And those properties, they're in Elk Grove Regional Park and managed by the Historical Society. So, and they're aware of the process to go through.
Perfect, thank you. I just didn't want some owner to wake up one day, want to make some modifications and be told, no, I'm sorry, that's been added to the list.
Yeah.
So that's not gonna happen? I'm good, thank you. In fact, I'll make the motion to approve.
And if anyone were to go outside of those bounds, they go right straight to the San Joaquin Court and jail. On that note, I will
Okay.
second the motion.
That was, okay. We have a motion and a second. And then the question that Councilmember Suen had about the fees, if we can factor that in.
Thank you.
All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next item, 8.3.
And 8.3 is actually 4 public hearings which relate to the project's Jane Estates map and 8621 Heritage Hill Drive map projects and various annexations into community facilities, districts, and assessment zones, as will be detailed by staff.
Good evening, Mayor Singleton and members of City Council. I am Kara Taylor Seaman. I'm the Finance Manager here at the city, and I am here to present a brief presentation about annexations recommended to our city's special task districts. As you are aware, the city maintains 8 special tax districts. Those are a combination of community facilities districts and assessment districts. The annexations into the districts are typically part of the approval process, and each are specific to the particular project. They vary according to geographic location and the land use and the building use. And each are subject to annual rate adjustments. As I said, there are 2 projects being proposed tonight. One is the Jane Estates map, and the other is called 8621 Heritage Hill Drive map. They are recommended for 4 districts. CFD 2003-2, which is police services. This will be the 75th annexation into that district. CFD 2006-1, which is the citywide maintenance district. This is the 99th annexation into that district. Street maintenance district number 1, zone 3. This is the 54th annexation into that district. And then finally, stormwater drainage fee zone 2. This is the 69th annexation into that district. The first one, Jane Estates map, will consist of 8 single residential units. It is located in east of Highway 99, kind of near Sheldon Road. And again, it's those 4 districts that is being recommended for annexation. The 8621 Heritage Hill Drive map will consist of 2 residential units, also located east of Highway 99 between Sheldon Road and Calvine Road, and the same 4 districts. And that concludes my presentation. I'm available for questions.
All right, thank you for that. I will declare the public hearing for CFD 2003-2, Annex 75, now open, and open up the public comment opportunity. I do not have anyone signed up to speak. I'll close public comment and declare the public hearing for CFD 2003-2, Annex 75 is closed. And look for motion 1.
Motion A1.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And may I request the results of the ballot tabulation?
Indeed, of 10 possible votes, 10 affirmative votes were cast, authorizing the city of Elk Grove to levy a special tax at the rate apportioned and described. The measure passes with more than 2/3 of all votes cast in the election in favor of the measure. A resolution declaring the results of the election is available for council consideration.
Thank you. Now we have motions A2 and A3.
Motions A2 and A3.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, I will declare the public hearing for CFD 2006-1, Annex 99 open, and open up the public comment opportunity. No one has signed up for this. I'll close public comment and declare the public hearing for CFD 2006-1 Annex 99 is closed, and look for motion 1.
Motion B1.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, and may I request the results of the ballot tabulation?
No surprises on the numbers tonight. Of 10 possible votes, 10 affirmative votes were cast authorizing the city of Elk Grove to levy a special tax at the rate apportioned and described. The measure passes with more than 2/3 of all votes cast in the election in favor of the measure. A resolution declaring the results of the election is available for council consideration.
Thank you. We have motions B2 and B3.
Motions B2 and B3.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, I will declare the public hearing for SMD 3-AQ Annex 54 open and open up public comment opportunity. No one has signed up to speak. I'll close public comment and declare the public hearing for SMD 3-AQ Annex 54 is closed, and request the clerk to provide results of the ballot tabulation.
There is no majority protest. Of 10 possible votes weighted according to the proportional financial obligation for the properties, 10 affirmative votes were returned. The ballots approved. The proposed assessments and the proposed inflation adjustment limits described for the parcels identified in the ballots. A resolution determining the levy assessments in the district is available for council consideration.
Thank you. Motion C, please.
Motion C.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And now I will declare the public hearing for SWDF Annex 69 is now open and open up public comment opportunity. Still no one has signed up to speak on this. I will close public comment and declare the public hearing for SWDF Annex 69 is now closed, and request the clerk to provide the results of the ballot tabulation.
And again, there is no majority protest. Of 10 possible votes weighted according to the proportional financial obligation for each property, 10 affirmative votes were returned. The ballots approved. The proposed assessments and the proposed inflation adjustment limits described for the parcels identified in the ballots. A resolution determining the levy assessments in the district is available for council consideration.
Thank you, and motion D, please.
Motion D.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, we're done with those, and we are on to our regular agenda action items, 9.1.
And that's to receive and file the Elk Grove Tourism Marketing District Annual Report for fiscal year 2023-24.
Good evening, Council. I'm Sarah Rodriguez, your Economic Development Analyst and the Secretary of the Explore Elk Grove Board of Directors. Back in 2015, the Elk Grove City Council took a forward-thinking step by forming the Elk Grove Tourism and Marketing District and nonprofit owners association Visit Elk Grove, doing business now as Explore Elk Grove. The mission behind this collaboration continues to align perfectly with the council's vision of fostering a thriving local economy by creating events and experiences that enhance the quality of life for both our residents and visitors. Since its inception, Explore Elk Grove has provided an annual update to the council highlighting its key projects and progress, and tonight I'm pleased to continue that tradition. Having been a resident of Elk Grove since 2020 and having served on the board for most of my time with the city, I've witnessed firsthand the incredible impact of the organization, led by a very dedicated and hardworking team. So to share the latest developments and achievements from this past year, I'd like to introduce Explore Elk Grove's Executive Director, Erin Val. She will walk us through their progress and conclude with a brief video. Thank you, Council, as always, for your continued support.
Thank you, Sarah. How do I get that?
Ms. Val, yeah, unfortunately my system's down, but if you pull out the keyboard and then there's a mouse and you can open up item 9.1, but I can help out.
Oh, I think I see it.
Down, you can get down to the slideshow. So one more over, oops.
I'll let you drive that.
That's okay. That'll be interesting. We'll see what happens here. Let's see. And I think just the keys will,
Okay.
or the arrows will take you.
Perfect. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members. I'm Erin Val, the Executive Director of Explore Elk Grove. And it's my pleasure to be here this evening to speak to all of you and provide an update on our annual report for the 23-24 fiscal year for the Elk Grove Tourism Marketing District. Year over year, our team collaborates closely with the community small business owners, event producers, tournament directors, and so many more. And together we unveil Elk Grove's unique story, generate hotel revenue, tax dollars, and economic impact that benefits our community as a whole. We're so proud of this past year and extend our gratitude to our hotel partners, city council, staff, and for the continuous partnerships from all of you and your trust. Over the past years, we have worked hard to build a team and a board that is strong, diverse, and driven, and it is important that I recognize each of them this evening. Our board chair is James Linton with Extended Stay America, Kimberly Albright with the Hilton Garden Inn, Sarah Rodriguez with the City of Elk Grove, Lorena Riley with Town Place Suites by Marriott, Tony Mack with the Fairfield Inn, Chris Franklin with Wilton Rancheria, Mike Wakeman with McConnell Estates Winery, Tracy Ferris with CSD, Rich Morehouse with IR Academy of Soccer Development, Yolanda Garcia with Cafe Elk Grove, Carrie Gordon, Sky River Casino, and we just recently, this last week, added Miss Allison Hill with Golden One Credit Union. She is their Chief Financial Officer. I would be remiss if I did not recognize my team, two of which are here this evening, Joy DeVega, our Senior Sales Manager, Casey Fabry, our Marketing and Events Manager, and then we also have Nina Ewan and Jocelyn Jones, who work strong for both sales and marketing on our team as well. Together, the board and staff have been key to elevating Explore Elk Grove to the level that we are today. As I dive into some of the key results for this past year, it's important that I recognize that this was for the fiscal year, not the calendar year, and that a lot of this data comes from Tourism Economics, Destinations International, and the calculators that we use that are used industry-wide. So starting with lodging performance, we've observed similar trends that we're seeing across the state of California as well. Hotel indicators are still strong, but they have been normalizing across the state and in Elk Grove. A lot of it due to the end of revenge travel coming out of COVID, economic pressures, local conditions, and shifting travel patterns. So this last fiscal year, there was citywide a 77.3% hotel occupancy. The average daily spend was $146 per room night. Total guest room revenue generated was $27.8 million, and the revenue per occupied room, RevPAR, was $113. Some of the Visitor Insights Fund data that we get from NEAR. The average length of stay for our visitors is 2.2 days. 58% of them are returning visitors, and 79.1% are overnight trip share. The majority of our visitors are coming from California and traveling within the state at 66%, followed by Nevada, Texas, Oregon, Washington, and Arizona. And then some of the top origin DMAs for us are San Francisco, Modesto, Los Angeles, Fresno, and the Silicon Valley. So visitors spent this last year $94.6 million. That average is based on TransUnion credit card spend, which only makes up about 50% of all credit card spending. $183 were spent per cardholder. And then the top DMAs of where they're spending and where they're coming from is Sacramento, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Fresno, and Reno. Some of the additional visitor spending demographics include, the different age groups. The majority, 11%, 10% are 50 euros to 65, and then the highest spending income level is 200 to 250,000 as well. The sales team works really hard to proactively find new opportunities for Elk Grove, whether it's our conference facilities, our hotels, District 56, the sports venues, from the Aquatic Center to Elk Grove Park, the new core facility opening up, the alley, you name it. We're out there trying to find something unique, something different, and that will be a good fit for our community. So over the last year, there was 82 requests for proposals that our team managed and worked through, 23 booked and serviced events, and we welcomed 35,000 attendees and spectators. That was a 29% increase from the year prior. Tonight we have an individual joining us from the Elk Grove Aquatics Club, Greg Rudes. He is back behind the team over there. We're really proud to welcome back the Western Zones in August of 25 in collaboration with the Elk Grove Aquatics Club, the Sierra Nevada Swim Organization, USA Swim, and then all of our hotels. It is truly an Elk Grove event. It impacts the region. There's 17 different states that are represented at this 5-day event at the Aquatic Center. The last time it was here is in 22, and we won the bid against Oregon just recently. So that's just one of many events that we are partnering on, and we thank him for being here and for being a champion of Elk Grove. Fong also is joining us too. They're really, truly the locals on the ground, the boots on the ground who help support and bring events into the community. So we really appreciate them and how they partner with us to make a difference. Next up, some of these events that we had just touched base on generated $9.8 million in direct business sales, $461,000 in local taxes, and helped create and support 44,000 jobs. That was an 88% increase from last year. We get out and about quite a bit in the sales efforts at different industry events throughout California and in the nation. Majority of them are local in California, including California Society of Association Executives, SGMP, Sports ETA, Meetings Professionals International, and other ones where we're really working on building those relationships, talking about facilities that we have, the hotels, and why they should book Elk Grove for their future meetings and events. For marketing, we are the storytellers for Elk Grove. And this last year, we had an 88% increase in website sessions. We referred 14,000 referrals to our partners. So those are the listings on our websites from the local shops, the restaurants, the wineries and breweries. People are visiting those pages, clicking on them, and then being referred to those websites. So we're very proud of that number and the traffic that we're generating for our small businesses and supporting them. There's a 79% increase in website users, and of our newsletters, 283,000 emails hit different inboxes. And then we support and fund Threshold 360 tours and capture those at over 50 locations in Elk Grove, and those have seen a 1.78 million views on Google. Earned media coverage through public relations. Probably every week there's 1 to 2 press releases that get distributed by Casey on our team. 35 pieces of earned media coverage were generated this year, 519,000 earned views. And social media continues to climb as well, with Facebook up 38%, Instagram up 129%, and LinkedIn up 45%. We host a number of signature events and programs. Our tourism luncheon in the last fiscal year was at Dust Bowl. This fiscal year that we're not reporting on today, but was at Slow and Low, and we're very proud of that event. We had the Sangria Showdown and Uncorked and Uncapped. Uncorked and Uncapped was its 4th year, and Sangria was the 2nd year. We've partnered with the city with their comedy show for the Main Street Stroll. We had 2 Sacramento brew bikes stroll down Main Street, stop at a number of locations, and then ending at the comedy show at Old Town Plaza. We work with the city, the chamber on support local, the e-gift card program, and we create a lot of content, testimonial videos from business owners like Sharice here you can see at the popcorn store is one example. We run diversity dining and Hallapalooza Trunk or Treat that's coming up here on Friday. Local sponsorships, we spread around the community from the Illumination Festival, the Giant Pumpkin Festival, the golf tournaments, Brewfest, the music festivals. So we really try to support a little bit of everything and help grow those events into multi-day events to capture those overnight stays and economic impact. Community engagement, in '23, we were the nonprofit of the year, named by the Chamber of Commerce. We're very proud of that and worked hard, and it was a pleasure to be represented there by so many other distinguished guests as well. So we proudly display our awards in the office. We are a partner with the school district in the city on the Civic Summer Internship Program. That's our second year participating with that. We attend a number of hospitality mixers, meetups, annual presentations to stay good neighbors with all of the other destination marketing organizations in Northern California. And then we're actively working on wayfinding signage for the breweries and wineries, and host a joint mixer annually with economic development. And this last year it was at Pig Latin. Other than that, there's so many other results and things that we've provided and put into different packets. So we hope when you have some time, you dive deep into those. If you have any questions, please let me know. Other than that, we have a new marketing video that we're super proud of, that we feel like is a great display of what Elk Grove has to offer. It is listed on all of our platforms, and we take it on the road with us to conferences, meetings, and events where we're sponsoring. We play this video to show off what our community has to offer. And I'd like to show you a little sneak peek if I can figure out how to play it. Any recommendations on how to play it?
Yeah, try spacebar just to see if it kicks in. No, it said that was the end. And it may.
Maybe Sarah, did you upload it separately, Sarah?
Mayor,
Well-
while we're doing that, could I ask a question? Ms. Val, I just want to thank you for this report. Excited about the work and all the accomplishments you guys have done thus far. I was just wondering if we could hear a little bit more detail about the Western Conference that's coming up. Maybe one of these gentlemen can give us some
Yes, of course.
detail about it.
Would you both like to come on up?
Hello. Hi. Yeah, well, thanks again, and we're super stoked to welcome this big event back to Elk Grove. We had our first run with it in 2022. It was a big get for us then, and it's even bigger now because all the teams and all the states all came in and had a really great time, and they're really looking forward to doing it again. We've already had interest in folks trying to book hotels already. We haven't really released hotel listings yet, but they're already calling, so it's kind of fun there. And Greg has helped to develop a really fun theme to entice people to come in and have the kids have a good time. In addition to swimming, it'll be just like last time. It'll be events around town and a big after party after the event. So looking forward to putting on a good show.
How many teams and swimmers are you anticipating?
We have
I don't remember the exact, but we have 17 states coming here. So it
Wow.
swims throughout the western region at this point that we're coming from. So they're representing all the western region up to as far as, Colorado, Idaho, and Montana.
Yeah, Colorado to the east, Hawaii to the west,
and Alaska.
Alaska up to north, and down to Arizona down south. So should be fun.
Fantastic. Look forward to it.
Forward to
Yeah, thanks again for all your
participating.
support. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, super stoked.
So have we navigated our video situation? Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
To save time, just check out our YouTube channel at Explore Elk Grove, and you'll see the video on there as well as some other videos.
Looks like maybe they got it. Let's give another 30 seconds to see.
Okay.
While we're waiting on that.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Do we know the purpose for a traveler's visit? Do we know the purpose for a visitor? Business,
Why are people
leisure,
coming?
What is kind of the mix on that?
Yeah, it's definitely a good mix. Midweek, we see a lot of business travel, Tuesday through Thursday. Weekend travel is majority sports travel through soccer, swim, baseball, senior softball. But the leisure travel, they're usually just coming and going. We were trying to get that data from Smith Travel Resources and CoStar Realty. But because some of our hotels do not enter that data, there was only a pool of 2 of them that were reporting it, so we wouldn't be able to get a good idea. But to my knowledge, it's the majority business travel midweek that really drives the hotels and the revenues high. We continue to be the leader in our comp set with ADR, RevPAR, and occupancy, and we compare ourselves.
What's ADR? Sorry.
Oh, average daily rate. And revenue is revenue per occupied room. But we are regularly beating out Folsom, Roseville, Lodi, Sacramento, limited service hotels as well. Our inventory is significantly lower than the competing cities, and we have a lot of room to grow there so that we can keep the teams and the events staying in our community and not outside in Lodi, in Sacramento, in Rancho Cordova.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Yep. Looks like we're queued up.
Okay. So we all the local talent we pulled from, and some of them are business owners, some of them are community members. So we really want it to be an authentic experience when people get to have a chance to see what Elk Grove's made of. So it's been a pleasure, and we eagerly anticipate what lies ahead. Any questions for me? I'm happy to answer them.
Excellent, thank you. At this time, I'll open up public comment. Nobody's signed up to speak. I'll close public comment. Any questions, comments for Aaron? Looking to the left. Yeah, just thank you for all of the great work that you continue to do and elevating Elk Grove's brand to a wider audience. I really sincerely appreciate it. It's been a great partnership, and I always look forward to coming and speaking to the group as well. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Have a
All
good
right.
night.
Thank you.
This is receive and file, so we will move on to our next item.
That's item 9.2, to receive an update on transit service and future planning from the Sacramento Regional Transit District.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Kaylee Lyons, Senior Transportation Planner, and I am just here to introduce Anthony Adams, the Director of Planning for SAC-RT, who will be providing this update.
Thank you, Kaylee. Good evening, Mayor Singh-Allen and members of the council. I'm Anthony Adams, Director of Planning for Sacramento Regional Transit. I'm also joined here tonight by our General Manager, Henry Lee, and our Senior Community Relations Officer, Greg Fishman. So if you have any questions after the presentation, make sure to ask me. If you have any complaints, you can direct it to them. Just kidding. Thank you for the, thank you. SAC-RT board members are here as well, and I was even on a panel with Councilmember Robles about TOD recently as well, so good to see you all today. So I want to talk about the history just a little bit before we go into our current service and what we're planning for the future. We'll start with the light rail that was extended to Meadowview in 2003. In 2005, with just 5 years of having city status, Elk Grove wanted to run its own transit agency, so actually withdrew from SAC-RT and created E-Tran, and ended up running that for the next 15 years. Next time we'll go to is 2015, where we extended the light rail to Consumnes River College. It's right on the edge of city limits, not quite into Elk Grove yet. And in 2017, there was a comprehensive operational analysis that was done. It was done by Elk Grove, so that is the current system that you have right now. And shortly after that, there began some conversations with SAC-RT, and we talked about operating that service for Elk Grove. So just a few years later, we started operating that service, and then COVID hit. Everything kind of changed, and we started operating the service just in 2021. We also launched Smart Ride in Elk Grove in 2021 as well, which is a very popular service. So I mentioned that 2017 COA. In 2017, what happened is the city of Elk Grove did a comprehensive operational analysis, looked at the way it was doing service, and actually had to extend that service into new areas. Not only do we extend to new areas, but they also cut service to this. So we made sure we had better coverage, but it kind of came at the expense of frequency. The way it is right now, there's a grid-based network, which is really good for getting around Elk Grove, not especially great for getting out of Elk Grove. To help solve this, we do have 10 commuter routes. The thing is, those only run during the morning and afternoon, so it's really difficult to get out of Elk Grove during other times. This is a heat map to show you where people are coming and going from. No surprise here, most of the folks are coming to and from Consumnes River College. We also have Laguna Transfer Point and Civic Center as two main hotspots as well. And we do hope that the casino and the zoo are going to be future hotspots in the coming years. So this is performance. I know this is a really big chart. I'm not going to ask you guys to look at all of these numbers, but I want to show you what's highlighted right here. And that's local bus ridership is fully recovered from 2023. This is great news for us. Not every jurisdiction, not every location is like this. And a big driver to this is the student ridership. It's doubled since 2019. A big driver to that is the Ride Free RT program. It's one of the first and largest in the entire nation, allows every student that's in high school or below to ride SAC-RT services free of charge. You don't have to be going to school. You can go to practice, you can go to your friend's house, go to your job. So it helps with morning commutes, make sure that parents don't have to get in their car to take their kids to school, and make sure that kids are getting to school. Now, the flip side of this, commuters. Nearly 4 out of 5 commuters that were riding in 2019 are not riding today. So it's a big hit to the ridership there. We are seeing some of this improve with the state coming back. They're only coming back to the office 2 days per week. We are seeing a little bit of uptick, but that's certainly something that we're going to have to look at in the future. How are we dealing with the commuter routes coming in and out of Elk Grove? So as I said before, commuter ridership has recovered since COVID, but as you can see, it was starting to decline coming into COVID. When COVID hit, we cratered and have been slowly crawling back out of this. Local bus has recovered, but commuter hasn't, and that's why that number isn't higher than what we'd like to see it. I heard recently from the council that senior ridership was of concern, so I wanted to cover that. 9% of our fixed route ridership is seniors. These are folks that are above 62. These are folks that are getting discount fares. As you can see right here, $125 is the reduced fare, or they can ride all day for $350. That's half the price. Now, not every senior can get to fixed route. Some of them have mobility issues. So we also have SAC-RT Go. It's our paratransit service. So within our entire coverage area, 440 square miles, someone can take a paratransit trip from their home anywhere within our region. Rather good service. It is door to door. You have to book in advance, but it's $5 per ride. That can be taxing for a whole lot of rides. So we did just recently transition to SAC-RT Flex program, and what this is going to do is focus on the senior disabled population, and I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. So I said that Smart Ride was a very popular program. It is a very popular program. Unfortunately, it's a very expensive service to run. We ended up having a $47 per rider average on this. Our current average for normal fixed route is $8 per rider. So what we wanted to do was make sure that we were being efficient with our funds and also that we focused on the most vulnerable people. So what we want to do is we're going to transition Smart Ride into something called SAC-RT Flex. It's going to be people with low income, people with disabilities, and also seniors. It's going to provide $2.50 per ride. It's going to be door to door. You'll have an app on your phone, say where you want to go. It'll pick you up at your house and take you where you want to go. $2.50 per ride. We're not going to allow passes anymore, though. It used to be with Smart Ride that somebody can get a month-long pass and then take Smart Ride 50 times in that month. This is a premium service, and as such, we want to make sure that we keep it that way. We're going to keep the existing zone that we have right now. It's a full 26 square miles. You can see that there's quite a few locations that people are going, such as Walmart and Safeway. These are really lifeline locations that people need to go to. They need to go shopping. And we're going to be operating it during the weekdays, 7 to 7, a full 12-hour schedule. Let's talk about your future. So Elk Grove is going to be a major focus of the upcoming COA. COA is the Comprehensive Operational Analysis. We recently got $1 million from SACOG to do a region-wide COA. So the COA is going to be looking at real-time OD data. This is something we haven't done before, OD meaning origin destination. We're going to use cell phone data to say real-time, what time of day, where you're going, when you're going, how much delay is there, and look at the routes that people actually want to take. Just because people are going somewhere doesn't mean that the bus that we offer is going to be faster for them. So with this real-time OD data, we'll be able to see what routes can be optimized and really take people that need to go somewhere where they want to go. We're also going to be looking at new service options, like bus rapid transit is one of them, making sure we service new locations as well. We're also going to be looking at different service types. Right now, we're transitioning from Smart Ride to SAC-RT Flex, which is a turnkey operation. So maybe there's a different way to offer service in Elk Grove than what we're offering today. We're going to evaluate that. That includes commuter buses as well. Maybe there's a different way to provide that service more frequently at a cheaper cost. We also need to normalize fares with SAC-RT. Folks are paying $225 in Elk Grove now, and we need to bring them up to standard with SAC-RT, which is $250. And finally, we're going to look at the fleet of buses. Nobody likes to see a 40-foot bus rolling around half empty. So we want to make sure we're right-sizing the vehicles for the need. This is an example of one that we're going to be looking at, something that's low floor and is more appropriate for some of the smaller streets. So this is a really big effort that we're partnering with the city on. It is the Blue Line extension into the city. It was funded by Caltrans Sustainable Communities grant of $500,000. This is really a feasibility study to see what makes sense. Light rail is expensive. Hundreds of millions of dollars to come into Elk Grove, and it won't be done overnight. So what we want to do is see if there's a way that we can advance this light rail into Elk Grove in a way that is productive and gives you a benefit immediately. And we could do that with bus rapid transit. There is exclusive right-of-way that's already been given along the corridor, Bruceville. We can use that right-of-way to do bus rapid transit, and when we have the money, we can maybe convert that into the light rail. So that's what we're looking at in this feasibility study to see, should we do either, both, and see if one makes sense to do before the other. This study will be completed in early 2026, and we're going to use this as the foundation to go after funding to advance this project. It's something that we want to happen. We know in order for Elk Grove to be connected to the rest of the region, you need high-quality fixed route transit. And finally, this Valley Rail. So SAC-RT does not operate this, but it is something that is related to your transit future and something that we do play a part in. There's going to be a new commuter rail that's going to be opening up at the corner of Laguna and Dwight Road. You can see the map on the right side. This is what's called Valley Rail. It's going to be connecting Fresno all the way up to Natomas. It's using an existing freight rail line right now. It got something like $2 billion from the state to build this. It has been making progress. The environmental document was completed a few years ago. They're going to be starting construction on the station in 2025 and hope to begin service in 2027. This will be a commuter route, so it's going to be just in the morning and just in the afternoons. But again, we'll provide direct connections to Midtown and Old Town Sacramento, even to the airport as well. Because Elk Grove is kind of a commuter city, we know that people need to drive there. So there's going to have over 200 parking spots and 3 bus bays. That's a great number because we actually serve this location with 3 existing routes, 112, 113, and 114, to make sure that we have the transit connections and people don't have to get in their car if they don't need to. So with that, I'd like to open the floor to any questions, comments. If complaints, we have Mr. Lee over here. Thank you.
Thank you for that fantastic presentation. At this time, I'll open up public comment opportunity. I do not have anybody signed up to speak. I'll close public comment and open it up for questions, comments. We'll start to the left here with Councilmember Suen.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the presentation. I'm excited to see you're doing another comprehensive operational analysis. I have always been an advocate about putting a light rail station in Elk Grove, just so I recognize the cost. So just in the northern boundary, just inside of that, we have an affordable housing site there that I think would benefit from that as well. So I understand you're doing the analysis, so I just encourage you to strongly look at that. I recognize the desire to do bus rapid transit in lieu of fixed rail because of the cost, but approximately 1.1 miles of fixed rail will, I think, generate a lot of use at that station. It's just very difficult to get from Elk Grove to Cosumnes River or the Meadowview station. So changing modes is very challenging for folks. So I think if there's a way if you study that, we'd be very interested in seeing the outcomes of that analysis.
Thank you, Councilmember Suen. And we are coordinating with the city on a potential affordable housing sustainable communities grant with that affordable housing location. And if that goes through, we would be able to secure some funding for a potential light rail station. So if we can cobble the money together, it's what we want to happen.
Fantastic. And the last comment I make is General Manager Lee and I talked about a dual track to it being express to downtown, bypassing Cosumnes River College. So that's part of that study as well.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at, right now, there's like 3 reasons that people choose their mode. It's because of the cost, convenience, and speed. And we have the cost down. We're cheaper. Convenience is nice. You get to sit and read, but we're not always faster. So as part of the COA, we're going to be looking at ways to improve the speed of our buses and our light rail. So
Great
thank you
to
for
hear.
that.
Thank you.
Great questions. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to thank Anthony for providing us with the update on what's going on with SAC-RT. I think it's very important that we know of what's going on in terms of how we're going to advance, because as we move closer to today's Elk Grove, we want to have all modes of transportation already made in accordance of, because as we get towards 2030, 2035, 2037, people want to know with some degree of certainty as they move to Elk Grove that they have certain modes available for them, or they want to commute to work by taking RT, whether it be BRT or light rail, or taking the Valley train. These are different alternate ways to allow people to live here in Elk Grove, but work where they are, whether it be in the Bay Area or here locally, and creates more of a livable community and a smart community at the same time. I know we've been working really diligently in creating a plan on what a smart city would look like, especially here in Elk Grove. This fits perfectly with that. And so I really want to thank you and Henry for your work and for Henry's vision and leadership in that regard. But with that, I want to look at SAC-RT Flex, because we are making a transition. In terms of outreach, because I know we're still in the early stages, can you share with us and with the public on what the outreach campaign is going to look like as we help people prepare for the new transition into RT Flex?
Sure. So we've had 2 open houses to date, and we've had 1 board meeting in which we presented at. We have 1 more public outreach event for November 6th. I believe it's at 3:30. It can be found on our website. We will also be presenting this at the Sacramento Transportation Authority at, I don't know the exact date, it's the 3rd Thursday of the month, when we'll be going to the SAC-RT, the STA board. So those are the 2 remaining public outreach events. We will be having a rather substantial outreach where we try to inform the public that this is coming, make sure that people who can be available for this and are eligible know that they are. So we're going to be doing email blasts on our website, but we're also going to do ride-alongs as well. If you have the Smart Ride app on your phone, we're going to be pushing out notices to say it's going to be changing. These are the eligibility requirements, and pointing them to that eligibility webpage. And to that point, as far as eligibility, we do want to make this as seamless as possible. So we're not going to make people supply their tax returns to us or anything of that sort. It's going to be, if you're already on some sort of assistance like SSI or CalFresh, you're going to qualify. If you're on low income for free lunches, you're going to qualify. If you're over 62, you're going to. So we're going to make it easy. We're actually going to do self-certification. So as soon as you put it in, you're going to be qualified, and we'll just kind of do random screenings to make sure that people are being accurate with what they're putting forward.
No, I definitely appreciate that. I want to thank you for breaking that down for us, because as we know, senior ridership, ridership for the blind, disabled, that's where the large nexus will be in meeting the folks where they are, making sure that as we make the transition, that people feel very comfortable and not have any undue angst of the transition that has taken place.
Yes, sir, and we're hoping that this is actually a better service for those folks in need. Right now, they have to compete with the general public to book that ride, and we're hoping that this will provide more availability.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilmember Spies?
Yes, so if you go, can you go back to that graphic? I guess it might be a little difficult to dig back to, but the graphic relative to the flex.
Oh, yeah, this one. There you go.
Okay, so it's available within the boundary.
Yes, sir.
Out there in the east. how do you eventually plan to move that out more to the west? Is that part of any part of the COA, or, because I mean, there's a large population further out to the west?
So we basically created these zones because these are the areas that have limited transit coverage. So the area out to the west does have more routes. You can see there's a 112, the 111, the 116. So we did Smart Ride as a way to facilitate folks who didn't have a transit option currently available to them. And as such, that's why the east side of town is covered right now. We are going to look at different funding sources that will hopefully give us the resources that we need to expand these zones. As was stated before, this is a very popular program. As with things that are popular, the demand always outstrips the supply. So we're going to be looking at different funding sources. We have a few identified already that we feel good about. And as more funds come in, we hope to expand the eligibility criteria and also the zones as well.
Now, is this available only to the residents within that area, or is that simply the pickup point? So if you're, say you live east of, excuse me, you live immediately west of Elk Grove Florin Road, but that's just where the boundary is.
Yeah.
You can pick up inside the boundary, no problem, or does you have to be a resident of that zone?
So it has to begin and end within the zone, the trip itself. So you don't necessarily
Sure, but it
have
has
to live
nothing
there.
to do with resident requirements.
It doesn't have to. And we're not super duper strict on the boundary. So if you're on one side of the street, we're still going to pick you up.
Sure, right, okay. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Councilmember Robles?
Not so much any questions, but thank you for the work that you're doing. Looking forward to seeing the study, especially kind of the ride share and seeing folks take regional transit. So
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. As a proud member of the SAC-RT board, this is great. We've had meetings about this item with our staff and with Henry Lee and the team. So it's great to have you here presenting so that everyone else can benefit from this information. It's great to see the Kids Ride Free program doubling. That's remarkable. I remember when I was first elected, we wanted to really promote that. And we did sort of that little infomercial and really wanted to spread awareness to the parents and the schools that here's a great option, and that it's doubled. It has reduced traffic and issues in the mornings. So again, for those that haven't utilized this, you should be utilizing this service. Not only is it free, but it eliminates all of that, the early morning angst of getting your children to and from school. Speaking with, as a parent who used to do that, it's challenging. So this is a great economical way to accomplish that. The challenges, of course, you mentioned here, the difficulty of getting out of Elk Grove and being better connected to the region. That, of course, is a top priority as well. So making those decisions on a data-driven decision-making process, I appreciate that the studies are commencing. And the major focus is going to be on Elk Grove, looking at the real-time analysis and optimizing routes, looking at options. I didn't know much about BRT when I started SAC-RT, but I definitely know a lot more now and have become a fan. As I learn more about it, it is an efficient way to have your goal for light rail extension, but to meet those needs immediately, having that foundation already in place and providing a service for a very, a dedicated line of getting you connected to what we're looking for, but it also provides an opportunity to assess the routes and the ridership and educate more of our community to increase ridership as well. So I do think that, the goal, of course, I, of course, am also a champion of getting light rail here, especially as we look at transit-oriented developments along the corridor, I think will be essential. So that blue line extension is an important aspect for our growth. And then of course the new commuter rail coming to our city, and again connecting us back to the region, so that we're not just this great city all by itself. We need to be able to get to and from different places and reduce our travel on the roads.
Yeah.
So great report. I am looking forward to those solutions as it relates to the Bruceville, bringing it up to our CRC Annex campus, our affordable housing projects, and then even the Fortune School. There's a lot of built-in demand just with those three things right there. So Great, the great, excellent report. I'm glad that my colleagues got to see this. And we're here to, of course, support the work that you're doing, not only as a mayor, but of course, as representatives of the SAC-RT board as well. So great work. Thank you. Thank you to you and Mr. Lee. I'm sure he would love to get on light rail and go all the way downtown.
Since he lives here in Elk
To
Grove.
the light rail, to the SAC-RT headquarters. So I'm sure there's some selfish benefit in there as well.
No, actually, it is a pleasure to see mayor and the entire council members and the colleagues here. I just want to emphasize one interesting perspective. Light rail or BRT, both are great options. But this region, the regional leaders always stuck in something, hey, the light rail is more costly and more expensive. Maybe BRT is cheaper. Yeah, that's true. However, the majority of funding will come from federal and state. Not really come from the local. And if we have a vision, if we would like to really make the major capital project done, we truly need to unite together to be determined to make something happen. And that's what I'm extremely proud of mayor and the entire council. Elk Grove is the second largest city in this region, and I don't know, it may become the largest city sometime. Look at how many housing have been built. I'm just a little bit more optimistic because I'm a resident here. Today we got news from state. They gave us the full award on a particular program, $29 million. And with that $29 million, we got another $30 million, something like that. It's about $60 million funding, all from state and federal. And 2 months ago, we received about $77 million from federal on a particular program. With that funding, we're leveraging that $77 million to get another $70 million by the early next year. And I'm saying this is because of the bipartisan infrastructure law, there are billions of dollars from the federal level, and also every year more than $5 billion from the state level for transit. So if we can identify a very competitive capital project, we will be able to get those funding. And so far, our light rail modernization, we have secured more than $650 million. In the last 5-6 years, we secured more than $1 billion capital funding and operating funding together. So what I'm saying, I'm very excited to work with the Elk Grove team and mayor and the entire council's leadership and the direction. If we all be on one page and set up a big vision, we can work together to make that happen. Just want to say something.
Thank you. Thank you for being here and speaking. And I know that you're gifted at finding grants. In the short time that I've spent on the SAC-RT board, it's amazing what you're able to accomplish. So just congratulations for all of your hard work and all of the staff. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Yes, Vice Mayor?
And as you provided that small snippet of information, Henry, I think that this speaks to what the biggest desire that you are striving for as we work not only with you as a city, but also in the spirit of what we do as a region, is providing that vision of equity and accessibility for not only our citizens, but for the citizens in the region who are looking to make it from one place to another, because it's all about quality of life. It's all about allowing people to live with a degree of dignity. And this is what Sacramento RT does in a large way. And part of our trip that we had in Washington DC as part of the Capital to Capital trip, and sitting with Mr. Lee at Department of Transportation, where we had the discussion to secure the $77 million. It not only is indicative of that spirit of regionalism and leadership, but it's providing as a watershed for all the good things that are to come, based on the collaboration, the teamwork, but also the collective vision in doing what's best for our citizens. So thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Excuse me, I just want to say
Yes,
one
of
thing.
course.
2 years ago, and the mayor attended FTA's meeting because of the mayor's leadership and extremely extraordinary diplomacy, and along with other SACIT board members, we got $45 million. That's right. This year, the same thing. I think both of you were there. And the leadership, the collaboration, just amazing. That's why we get so much money.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. Appreciate all of the kind words. Thank you. So this is just receiving information. So we will, again, thank you all for being here this evening. We will move on to our next item, item 10, council comments, reports, future agenda items. I'll start to the right. Councilmember Robles, anything to report?
Nothing to report.
Councilmember Spies? Vice Mayor?
Sacramento Library Board meets tomorrow at the county administrative offices at 3 o'clock. So definitely want to participate in that. It should be fast.
Thank you. And Councilmember Suen?
Thank you, Mayor. Just to piggyback off this last item, for Sacramento Area Council of Governments, that we have a committee, a CARTA committee to look at how to operate the incoming toll road along 80. But as relates to our transit conversation here, we are also, with Caltrans, taking a broad look for the entire region, how we can make the carpool lanes, or adding a toll lane, or making carpool lanes available to single car drivers. So that analysis for 99, I-5, up I-5 to the airport, 80, all of that is in the works. Just wanted all of you to know.
Thank
Maybe
you.
we'll have them out here to do a presentation as things move forward.
That sounds great. Thank you for that update. I waive my report. So with that, we will adjourn this meeting at 8:03 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.